HTML allows us to add structure around and to our content. A huge part of content is textual data. Because text is such a large part of content, HTML provides elements to structure our text. Some of the common elements used in typography include headings, paragraphs, and formatting elements. We can denote a paragraph by creating an opening and closing tag with a P inside each, like this. All of the text in between the opening and the closing paragraph tag is part of that paragraph, just as with our other HTML elements. If we want to create different headings, which are like titles, slightly larger text, we can use H1 through H6 elements, with each getting a little smaller. Here is an example of a few of them. Let's go ahead and create our H1, which is the largest, and we'll call this a heading 1. And we'll do a 3 and a 6 as well. H3, heading 3, and an H6, heading 6, so that we can see the difference. Now, if I open these in my default browser, we can look at what the paragraph and the different headings look like. There's our paragraph, there's our headings of different sizes. Now, you may be wondering why we would go through all of this work just to create and display some text. It's much easier and quicker to just type out this text or this information in something like Microsoft Word or Notepad or some other way to display just plain text. However, the value of using HTML to format our text comes down the road when we want to start styling and adding functionality with CSS and JavaScript. Because we can group our content together in HTML elements, we can later refer to that content and program what we want it to do and look like. Some formatting elements that we have access to with HTML allow us to do things such as make our text bold, italic, small, superscript, and more. Here's what a few of these look like. Let's go ahead and create another paragraph here, and we'll create some text. Let's say this is going to be some regular text, and then we'll have some bolded text between this B element, and then we can use I for italicized. So we'll go italicized, and then we'll go ahead and see what superscript looks like, and we'll do some more regular text. Now, just because I write bolded, italicized, and superscript in between here, remember, that doesn't matter. That's just the content or the text that is having the element applied to it. So I can add some more text in there just to show that bolded text, italicized text, superscript text. If we save this, come back and refresh our page, we can see our regular text, then we got the bold, the italicized, the superscript, and more regular text. Sometimes we may want to leave comments in our HTML to explain what certain things are for. That way, when we or someone else looks at our code in the future, there is an explanation already waiting for them, so they don't have to figure out what we were doing or what we were trying to do just by looking at our HTML. To accomplish this, we can use comments. Most coding languages provide a way to add comments to your code, and HTML is no different. Here is how we can leave a comment in HTML. You start with the less than symbol, then an exclamation point, then 2 dashes. And then it closes just like a tag in HTML. There's the opening and the closing. The closing is 2 dashes and the greater than symbol. Anything in between here is the comment. It will not be rendered by the web browser, and thus it makes it useful for communicating what our code is doing without changing what the user sees when it is running or being rendered. So I can say this is a comment. Below is some HTML testing out different styling elements. Save that. If we come back here, I refresh it, we can see that nothing is changed here. The comment doesn't impact our what the user sees. It's just in the code for developers to look at.